woodblock prints were still the most popular form of art in Japan in the 19th century. The tireless public demand for novel images by the public encouraged the development of new subject matter. The first half of the 19th century was marked by the weakening of the Tokugawa Shogunate and social confusion. In 1868, a coalition of samurai led a coup d'état and toppled the government. The end of the feudal society was followed by rapid westernization of the country in the second half of the century. Origins and influences. The shogunate's conservative policy of isolation was increasingly challenged by the outside world. Pressure from the US and Britain contributed to the collapse of the Tokugawa regime, and the country reopened in the mid-19th century. The new Meiji government was established by a group of radical politicians, with the 16-year-old Emperor Mutsuhito as the head of state. The imperial family moved from Kyoto, where they had lived since 794, to Edo, which was renamed Tokyo, eastern capital. The Meiji era, 1868 to 1912, was shaped by modernization of the country, carried out under the slogan bunmei kaika, civilization and enlightenment. The whole nation enthusiastically adopted Western customs, fashion, and technology for architecture, railways, and ships. Subject matter. The last flowering of ukiyo-e, woodblock prints, produced great images of landscape, warriors, and historical events. Some 19th century prints were bizarre and macabre, reflecting the uncertainty and anxiety of the age. Japanese prints were avidly collected within the country and in Europe. The interest in Japanese art resulted in the French aesthetic movement Japanism, while the composition and subjects of ukiyo-e prints influenced the Impressionists. Emperor Mutsuhito returning to his palace in Tokyo Japanese school, late 19th century. The emperor adopted Western-style uniform, had his hair cut, and traveled in a horse-drawn carriage. Western-style stone architecture replaced the traditional wooden public buildings. Japanese art. Katsushika Hokusai. Bidio, now Tokyo, 1760, Didio, 1849. A towering figure in the field of ukiyo-e, Hokusai excelled in all areas of painting and woodblock prints. His outstanding images are known all over the world. He started his career as a designer of prints depicting actors and beautiful women, but never confined himself to one genre. He also illustrated books, produced privately commissioned luxury paintings and prints, and designed popular landscape prints. Hokusai was an eccentric man. He changed his professional name over 30 times, moved house 90 times, and, despite his fame, was always poor. He left 30,000 designs including 250 books, 3,500 single-sheet prints, and many original drawings and paintings. Lifeline. 1760 born in Edo, 1778 becomes a pupil of Katsushika Shunsho, given professional name of Shunro, 1814-19 publishes 10 volumes of manga, 1830s designs the series of single-sheet prints to 36 views of MT Fuji, 1840s publishes 100 views of MT Fuji, 1849 dies, after a career spanning over 70 years. Fuji in clear weather. The simple yet striking image of Japan's most sacred mountain comes from the series Hokusai, designed aged 70. Hokusai made landscape prints popular as works of art in their own right. C. 1830, polychrome woodblock print, 26x37 cm, British Museum, London, UK. Studies of gestures and postures of wrestlers from manga. Hokusai designed 10 volumes of manga from 1814 as a textbook for drawing. They contain 900 pages of human figures, animals, birds and flowers, insects and fish, and all sort of objects. They were so popular that they continued to be in print until the 1870s. C. 1849, page from the woodblock printed book, Victoria and Albert Museum, London, UK. Closer look. Humorous tradition. Hokusai's drawings display his great sense of humor. They belong to the long tradition of comical drawings in Japan, the roots of which go back to the 12th century scroll called Frolicking Animals. The great wave of Kanagawa. With his genius for dramatic composition, Hokusai emphasizes the great power of nature and the precariousness of human existence. 1831, from 36 views of MT Fuji, polychrome woodblock print, 26 by 37 centimeters, British Museum, London, UK. Ando Hiroshige. BDO, 1797, DDO, 1858. The success of Hokusai's landscape series inspired his younger contemporary artist, Ando Hiroshige, to design the series' 53 stations of the Tokaido Highway. Travel was tightly controlled by the shogunate during the Edo period, and journeys were a rare treat for most people. Travelers were required to stay on the prescribed routes and had to carry a personal identification document. In 1832, Hiroshige traveled the Tokaido Highway, Eastern Sea Route, from Edo to Kyoto as a member of the shogun's envoy to present a gift of horses to the imperial court. He gained first-hand knowledge of towns and villages along the way, and began publishing the images in 1833. The tremendous success of this first series was followed by his further landscape series, 69 stations of the Kiso Highway and 100 famous views of Edo. His landscape prints are characterized by lyrical romanticism and idyllic beauty, which made armchair travel a pleasure for his many collectors. Sudden Shower at Ohashi Bridge at Attica, 100 famous views of Edo. Hiroshige was keen to depict the effect of weather conditions and the changing seasons. Rain, wind, and snow feature prominently. 1857, polychrome woodblock print, 35.5 x 24.5 cm, Fitzwilliam Museum, Cambridge, UK. Otsu, 53 stations of the Tokaido Highway, Meiji of the countryside and provincial towns kindled people's imagination, and Hiroshige's first series was an immediate success. Prints also offer an insight into ordinary people's lives in the early 19th century. 1834, polychrome woodblock print, 23.5 x 36 cm, Victoria and Albert Museum, London, UK. Closer look. New blue. The upper section of the sky is printed in Prussian blue, a new and intense chemical pigment. The technique of bokashi, gradation, is used to create a subtle atmospheric effect by partly wiping the color before printing. Utagawa Kuniyoshi. BDO, now Tokyo, 1797, DDO, 1861. Kuniyoshi is best known for his dynamic mushi, warrior prints, which he produced in triptych, 3-part format. In contrast to Hiroshige's peaceful landscapes, Kuniyoshi's favorite subject matter was historical events featuring samurai and monsters. He always chose the most dramatic, sometimes frightening or grotesque, moment of the story. His figures are often caught in the midst of exaggerated movement, and the composition spreads across 3 sheets for maximum impact. Kuniyoshi was also an outstanding caricaturist and made candid portraits of kabuki actors as well as satirical prints criticizing the authorities. Kuniyoshi was very fond of cats, and he made many humorous and charming designs of them, including some highly original prints of cats dressed as kabuki actors. Lifeline. 1797. Born in Edo, 1820. Trains under Utagawa Toikuni, the designer of kabuki actor prints. 1827. Publishes the series Sukoden featuring 108 heroes from Chinese novels. 1840. Designs a series of revolutionary triptychs based on historical figures. 1861. Dies after a 40-year artistic career. Mangaku Shonin. Under the waterfall. Mangaku, a 12th century warrior, became a Buddhist monk after accidentally murdering his lover. The Buddhist deity Feudal Maya appears at the top of the waterfall. C. 1851, polychrome woodblock vertical triptych, each panel 37.5 by 25.5 centimeters, private collection. Closer look. Big splash. Kuniyoshi shows Mangaku doing penance under the waterfall. The graphic depiction of the splashing water and animated expressions of figures suggest a similarity in style with today's popular Japanese manga comic books. Mitsukuni defying the skeleton specter. Kuniyoshi was inspired by a kabuki play based on the historical figure Mitsukuni from the 10th century. He is thought to have studied Western medical books to depict the realistic skeleton. C. 1845, polychrome woodblock triptych, each panel 37 x 25.5 centimeters, Victoria and Albert Museum, London, UK.